Men are men are violent. Men are the ones who are taking control over women's bodies. Stop hiding behind legal jargon.
Hey women, when are we going to unite and take over the patriarchal system? Let's do it right now.
You ever notice how men on the internet will write a 47-paragraph essay on why a woman in shorts is asking for it, but when 62 million people visit a rape academy, they have nothing to say, just silence. The same guys who tell women to pick better men are currently in a Telegram group with 70,000 others exchanging tips on how to drug their wives. Here are the receipts. Welcome to the channel. Today we are answering the questions that get screamed into the void every single day. Why do women hate men? And spoiler alert, it's not because of the bear. The bear is just the mascot. The bear is the branding. The real reason is everything I just said and so much worse. And we're going to go through it point by agonizing point.
The odds of getting attacked by a shark, 1 in 4 million. The odds of a woman getting raped, 1 in 6. Your fear of sharks is seen as normal, while women's fear of men is seen as delusional.
Now, because I'm a broke college student with 35 subscribers living with my parents and my legal defense fund is exactly $0.00, I'm not here to debate philosophy. I am here to read receipts. If any of this makes you uncomfortable, good. Hit subscribe. Let's start with the thing that broke my brain in half when I first read it. In March 2026, CNN published an investigation, not a random Reddit post, not a conspiracy blog. CNN, the network your grandparents watch at the airport. And they uncovered a global online academy. That's not my phrasing, that's what investigators called it. A decentralized network of websites, forums, and encrypted chat groups where men gather to teach each other how to women, often their own wives, sisters, mothers, and other partners. One of the main platforms identified is called motherless.com, which, by the way, describes itself as a moral free file host where anything legal is hosted forever. And in Feb of this year alone, it logged 62 million visits, not 62,000, not 620,000, 62 million. On this platform, investigators found a category called sleep content, more than 20,000 videos, tagged with labels like hashtag passed out and hashtag eyecheck. And the eyecheck, I need you to understand what this is because it still keeps me up. Men lift the eyelids of unconscious women to prove to the camera and to each other that women is genuinely sedated and not faking unconsciousness. This has a name, this has a tutorial, this has tens of thousands of views per video. And yet, these same men or their ideological allies will log on to Twitter and tweet, "Women are so emotional, why are they always so scared? Gee, I wonder why." But wait, a German investigation by public broadcaster ARD uncovered the Telegram chat groups with up to 70,000 members where men were openly discussing how to rape women. 70000. These men shared tips on which sedatives to use, linked to online stores selling those sedatives disguised as cosmetic products, boasted about their wives, sisters, and mothers, and in some cases even live streamed the assaults.
I don't trust men because 62 million men went to that essay site. 62 million men. When there are 4 billion men on this planet, it's too difficult to look in the mirror. It's a whole lot easier to blame an entire gender than it is to look at yourself and say, literally, ladies, 1 in 100 men that passed you on the street wouldn't even think about doing what those men on that site would think about.
You're so brave. Thank you for sharing. Are you sure you said that right, buddy? Did you hear yourself? 1 out of 100 men wouldn't even think about doing those things to a woman. Just 1 out of 100 men, huh? Do you hear what you said? Do I need to replay it? Hold on.
Literally, ladies, 1 in 100 men that passed you on the street wouldn't even think about doing what those men on that site would think.
But the other 99 would? What are we doing? Obviously, you didn't mean to say it that way, but I don't think you understand how accurate you might be, buddy.
Only yes means yes. Everything else is that's it.
What exactly is a woman that a man violates?
My dad taught me once that when a person lacks arguments, then they look for the seeds of the watermelon in the garbage. And this is exactly what the kind of debate. Why don't you let everyone decide what they are? It's not your role as a politician to identify people. It's not your role. What you know what your role is? What your responsibility is? Give us the protection. Only yes means yes.
When women say we hate men, you're the man they're talking about. I support them.
One German participant confessed to sedating his wife and then inviting other men from the chat to come and rape her. If that sounds familiar, it's because that is exactly what Palicot did in France, his wife Gisele for nearly a decade and recruiting over 50 men online to assault her while she was unconscious. He was sentenced only 20 years. That case was not an anomaly, it was a template. And speaking of Telegram, separate investigations revealed that men were also using the platform for massive revenge porn operations, sharing non-consensual, intimate images of hundreds of women, doxing them, spreading vindictive lies, including images of girls as young as 15. These are men doing this right now, today. Now, let's pivot to the justice system because maybe the men who commit these crimes face consequences, right? Maybe that's why women shouldn't complain. Let's check in.
Are you surprised that Kanye West earned $33 million in 2 nights, selling out an 80,000-seat stadium twice? Or that he was even allowed to book the stadium in the first place? You shouldn't be. When I see Kanye West welcomed back into the mainstream after years of neo-Nazi antics, I think about Janet Jackson, whose body was violated by Justin Timberlake at the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show, and as a result of his actions, her invitation to the Grammys that year was revoked, she was blacklisted from the industry, and her platinum career was derailed. I think about Britney Spears and how, when she suffered mentally because of an abusive public, the people who profited most off of her talent put her in a psychological straitjacket so they could keep extracting until there was literally nothing left. I think about Cassie, who had a historically popular debut album and wasn't able to release music after that because her record label was also owned by her abusive boyfriend. I think of The Chicks, one of the best-selling country groups of all time, whose success was abruptly cut short in 2003 when they criticized the US invasion of Iraq. Their careers were derailed for being right too early. And I think about Chappell Roan, who 3 weeks ago was banned from Rio de Janeiro over the behavior of a male security guard that was acting on her behalf without her knowledge. So Kanye West just waltzing back into the mainstream is as revolting as it is unsurprising. Because whereas women must walk a tightrope to survive as entertainers, there is nothing a man can do, not neo-Nazism, not rape, not battery, that he won't be forgiven for and allowed back from. Nothing.
Let's talk about Gabriela Saldana. She's a 23-year-old senior at Florida International University. Her crime, she posted a message in a 215-student WhatsApp group that said, "Netanyahu, if you can hear me, drop some bonbons for us." She later described it as a dumb joke. She even edited the post to add, "I so we," with a sad face. What about the men who praised Hitler in the group chat? And that involved the government employees of the US. But they were men, obviously. We don't arrest men, we arrest women. Judge Judy Mindy as Glazer ruled it constituted a credible threat. Really, ma'am? She was charged with a second-degree felony of making written threats to kill or cause bodily harm. Yeah, the bodily harm where she is also included. She is now facing up to 15 years in prison, 15 years for a WhatsApp message she called an apology about, not a physical action, not evidence of planning, not a weapon, a sentence of up to 15 years. And in the first 2 years after Roe v. Wade was overturned, prosecutors in 16 states charged over 410 people with pregnancy-related crimes, overwhelmingly women. Meanwhile, what happens to the rapists? Let's look at the data. An NBC News investigation found that less than 4% of reported rapes and child sex abuse allegations in certain US cities ever led to a sex crime conviction, and the US calls itself the world leader. Or percent. The video is sponsored by absolutely no one. Shocking, not a single corporation wanted to attach its name to a breakdown of global academies and the criminal justice system's double standards. Weird how that works. But hey, if you're angry now, and I hope you are, you could do me a favor, smash that like button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it tells the algorithm that maybe, just maybe, a broke college student screaming into the void deserves more than 30 subscribers. Or don't. I'm not your dad.
Hiding behind legal jargon. Stop hiding behind your pretended care for women. Just stop it. Because this is very simple, straight to the point legislation. We are just asking that only yes means yes. The lack of it, therefore, means no.